Hello again.
Hello, welcome back.
It's been so long.
It's been ages. Well, part 2 of
It's been 84 years.
Frankie guest appearance on the podcast with benefits. My partner, keeper of all my secrets.
Ooh.
Quick note. Big shout out to Callie Wright, who actually made those swords back there. They're in the audience currently. Thank you, Callie.
Those were the swords that were mentioned at the end of the previous episode.
Correct. And Callie is also the host of another podcast called Queer Splaining. It's a fantastic podcast. Check it out.
And where can we find Queer Splaining?
Wherever you get your podcasts. I'll let them chime in with that.
Is.
If you want to in the chat, go ahead and promote yourself. Tell people where they can find your podcast. I kind of want to subscribe right now.
It's pretty fantastic.
It's a good show. So we opened it up to questions in the last show from the audience. We've got 2 so far. So we'll go ahead and get rolling with those. But if you have questions, please write them in. Feel free to email them or hop in the chat. My phone's on Do Not Disturb, so I won't get your emails, but maybe Steven will. So one of the questions was, what is the pineapple on pizza of sex? And that's like the City Slickers, like the one thing. Like, what's the one thing that's important to you kind of thing? Whatever you're like, well...
So in this instance, pineapple on pizza is good.
Well, right, and it also depends on, like, if you hate pineapple on pizza, it might be the worst thing, It could be if you don't like butt sex and you don't like pineapple on pizza, there's your correlation.
I feel like pineapple would be butt sex because some people like it and some people don't.
No. I definitely would attribute
I support that.
Pineapple on pizza to, well, lots of things. But at the moment, it's probably like a rim job. I don't know.
So butt stuff.
Not butt sex, though.
Okay, pineapple's butt stuff.
No, like I'm not like I don't even necessarily like penetrative butt sex.
That would be such a good name for a band.
Penetrative butt sex.
Yeah. I can already hear the music.
Like, I like my ass to be played with, but to put my penis in a butthole is okay. It's more about like the power of the situation for me than it is the feeling. But once I've done that once, it's like, okay, well, I got that. Check. Like,
so therefore, we don't need pineapple on the pizza.
Well, but I still, anyway.
I would, for me, I think the pineapple on the pizza of sex would be foreplay. Like, because to me, like, that's something that's very important to me. That's like I prefer foreplay more than the actual act of sex. But some people, they just like completely, they get right into it. So that's my answer, I think.
The foreplay would be like a calzone.
Calzone?
Yeah, the calzone zone.
That's some heavy foreplay.
Yeah. I like some heavy petting.
All right.
Right over pizza.
Yeah.
That could be a whole meal.
Could be. Right, exactly.
Okay. I can get down with that.
Any other pizza topping, sexual innuendo bridges we want to build?
No.
Okay. All right.
It's going to ruin pizza.
How do you pronounce this? Moore's hands?
Moore's hands.
Moore's sons?
Moore's hands.
So they wrote in and asked, want to talk about gay guys looking like brothers. So this is something that I noticed recently. I made a Facebook post about it, and it actually got a decent amount of traction. Um, have either of you noticed gay couples seem to like freakishly often look related? Like they look almost identical.
I think that transcends gender and relationship type, because I've seen hetero couples that look alike, and I've seen gay and lesbian couples that look alike. It does seem to be more frequent with gay male couples, but I've seen it in lesbians and hetero couples as well. And I think that has to do. I just attribute it to like narcissism. Like if I could fuck myself, I would. So I'm gonna fuck the closest thing. I found something that looks like me. I'm gonna fuck it and love it, I guess.
I have to.
Yeah, it's just something that it always kind of confused me, because it's like, oh well, you're just dating yourself. Like so pictures is one thing, but like the style choices and the mannerisms, and it's like seeing these couples in action. It's almost like one of them is just a mirror.
Yeah.
It's
I
bizarre.
know there's a hetero couple that I know. I saw them earlier today. That they don't look anything alike. Well, they both have black hair and glasses, but they act exactly alike. Like their person. I was like, I'm talking to the same person. Exactly. Like they just would say the same thing or like laugh at the same bullshit. They're the same person, and they have no idea. They don't see it at all. They're completely oblivious to it.
You pick up on each other's mannerisms after being together. Like we've been together for almost 10 years.
Yeah, you copy me all the time. I'm fucking awesome.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but like you two seem, at least on the outside, to be unique individuals. You know, you have your own personalities, your own distinct look, your own distinct like.
I had to take my flannel off because we were both wearing flannel.
No, so I did that on purpose.
No.
Oh, you
I
did?
saw you wearing your flannel, so I was like, I'm gonna put mine back on just to fuck with them.
Should I put my flannel back?
I don't give a shit. I'm just
I love that you put yours on and then
specifically to
they
troll.
took theirs off. Like,
Yeah.
but see, not the same. You're like you're countering each other.
We do accidentally match a lot.
Yeah, we have similar style.
I had to change shirts the other day because I accidentally wore the same shirt as him.
Well, you steal my clothes all the time too. So.
It was my shirt.
Not that particular time, but in general.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I think when you live with someone for years and years and years, you're just so many years. You just pick up things that they do, and like you just do the same shit. Live similar paths.
We've also been friends for a disgusting amount of time.
Yeah, 15 years.
Plus.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel old?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. You've aged me horribly.
Excellent.
What is this?
Oh,
that's from the sword.
Okay, all right. I was confused.
Callie
I was
made the
like,
swords.
the flannel? I don't understand.
Who made those?
Oh, actually, so real fast, I can confirm. So Queersplaining is on Apple Podcasts. I'm assuming that you can get it on Spotify as well. Callie Wright said that you can go to queersplaining.com as well. So, giving you another shout out.
That's my brand.
The more you know.
The more you know. That's the wrong slogan, or whatchamacallit, jingle. I don't even know.
I don't know what you were doing, but
I don't know either. So I have something that I want to share.
please.
So a friend of mine, for Valentine's Day, they got a bunch of they're these little sex eggs, I guess, for their boyfriend so that they could play with them or whatever. So they tried one of them on their boyfriend, and their boyfriend didn't really like it too much. But they ordered like 11 of them. So they decided that they're going to give me like 7. And the first one came in the mail. So I'm going to show it to you guys. So this is one of these weird little egg things. And so what it is it's basically a fleshlight, but in the shape of an egg.
It's not at all what I thought it was.
No,
Yeah.
what is it?
So I thought it was gonna be like you take the whole egg and you shove it up your ass.
That's what my immediate I was like, all right, yeah, butthole egg, got it.
So when my friend was describing this to me, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm interested in this. But then they explained, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So yeah, it's this very wobbly little fleshlight thing, and I'm gonna turn it inside out real fast. So each one, there's all kinds of different colors and styles. Each one has a different pattern on the inside. This one for Valentine's Day has hearts of all kinds of different sizes. So it's like it's ribbed or whatever, but with hearts. So I had never used a fleshlight before in my life. This was my first one. And it was all right. It was fine.
I'm still confused why it's like in an Easter egg.
It's just, I think it's just part of the
branding
charm of it.
It's just branding and image.
It's kind of like a brain.
I guess.
So it's just fleshlights, and fleshlight's not the right word. It's like a.
I wish I kept the label. I ripped it open and I threw away the thing, but
it's just meant to go around your penis.
Yes.
You're supposed to fuck
it's very stretchy.
Okay.
And yeah, it comes with, so when you first open it, inside is a little like cylinder, and you pull that out, and there's instructions and lube. And then you just take the lube and you put it inside.
Yep.
And then like give it a good squeeze, and then it's good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, fleshlight, not the right term, but masturbatory aid would be, I think, the correct.
Masturbatory aid.
Yeah,
so,
it's a little less sexy.
So what makes it not a fleshlight? I thought literally any kind of like sleeve that you put over your dick to masturbate with is a fleshlight.
I think it has to be like a flashlight shape. I don't like, and also I think it's like Kleenex to tissue.
Oh, okay.
So if we're trying to eventually get like, branding dollars, we want to
stretch
it. It stretches so much.
Yeah, I was a little concerned because like it's so like small. I was just like, so I don't know if, but eventually it was fine.
Now maybe it's just me, but maybe the next time you show me a product, you want to make sure it's not used first.
Well, I cleaned it.
Oh, great!
It's clean.
Wonderful.
It's perfectly clean. This is fine. There's nothing. It's fine.
You're like, I don't know.
This is fine.
Well, you scared me for a second, but like, I had to use it because I can't talk about it unless I've used it, right? I want to be able to speak from experience here.
Okay, I'm just gonna swipe left on that, and I'm gonna say. So all they do is send you these masturbatory aids. It's the same. It's an egg just with different patterns inside.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different patterns. The eggs are different colors.
I think to me, yes, that's where Callie. Yes, like
that's where you draw the line.
Well, I think if you're gonna like talk about the toy, I don't know. It's fine. I just wasn't ready for you to say you had already used it. It was.
How can I talk about it if I haven't used it?
Now I know that's on the table. It's fine. Like now I know, this guy right here. I love this motherfucker. Look at this big fuck. Like that's. I don't know.
Didn't we show you the?
I don't know etiquette. I know
that was used. You were fine with that.
Remove the shame, and so great job. I'm glad you masturbated with that.
Gold star.
I just wasn't ready for you to tell me and show me. But now here I am. I got to sit in the audience seat for a moment.
TIL.
Don't be. I'm sorry, Stephen. I apologize. I've given you this horrible gift of shame and
I just
anger.
don't understand. Like, I feel like it's my duty to try something before I talk about it. What would I rate it out of 10? So here's the thing. I feel like it was equally as pleasurable as just regular masturbation. It was just like different.
Did it shorten the time with which you ejaculated?
Yes, but I was just excited to use it. I wonder if after repeated use it would change.
So I've used one previously.
I saved myself. Like I waited like a good more than 24 hours. No, like I was like building up to the moment.
Okay.
So
I have used a silicone sleeve before and had one used on me, and it definitely sped the process up. But it was like a whole cylinder. Like it could encompass my entire business. Whereas that I think is just gonna
it does stretch. Like this covered everything. It just
you can pull it back. The band-aid's been ripped off. You don't have to.
I didn't know if I was not allowed to.
I've gotten over. I just wanted to express to you.
It's like it really stretches.
For the next one, be like, I'm excited to use this in the future, and then tell me about it later. It's fine. Now that I know that talking about used sex toys and showing them to people is okay.
That's
I'm ready for that.
So
why do you think we're here, Chris? Why do you think we're here?
I know. We're here for this is exactly.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Is it like a condom where you can just like pull it all the way down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't want that.
Like, it's very.
But there's a hole. Is there a hole at the top of it?
No.
No, it's a sleeve.
So that's one. Oh God, it's stuck now. Hold on. It's like suctioning now. Oh God, no! What have we done? So.
Don't pull like that. Break the seal.
Yeah.
Break the seal. Oh.
There you go.
See,
saved your life.
Y'all are experienced. I'm doing the dance. I never was a good dancer, but that never stopped.
Yeah, exactly. There was no roadmap there. You just did that, and I wasn't ready for it.
So, I'm sorry. What was the question?
It's like a condom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It just stretches and covers. But that was actually so there is no hole on the other end. And that was one thing that I appreciated because it made cleanup easier. So not once did I make a mess on my hands, which like that's one thing that I hate. Like once you're done, it's like, and then you can't touch anything. And you're like grabbing like towels and blankets with your elbows, trying to.
Why do you have semen in both hands, Stephen?
What?
Why do you have semen in both hands?
Listen, I'm a messy boy.
Are you? What are you doing, bud?
No, so like, hands? I just I make messes, okay? I'm a messy individual. I'm clumsy.
It's fine. If that's what you're into, great.
Especially like if I'm with somebody else, like there's we talked about lube hand.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so I appreciated this because like everything was kept inside of the little egg pocket. So it was fine. Like I didn't
I still just don't understand why an Easter egg. That's what it is. It's an Easter egg.
Yes.
Having had the tube shape that had an entrance and exit. I'm going to immediately go out and try this egg business, but
they're like $2.
Great. Like
it's affordable.
I definitely would want an exit because you're gonna have to clean the toy no matter what, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But like I'm anticipating too much pressure on my tip. Like there's no reservoir on that thing.
I think you're underestimating how stretchy this thing is, and because of the egg shape, it like.
You're telling me that when I bust a nut in that thing, it's going to expand even further.
So because of the egg shape, it
Oh, I get it. Because
it like
at the top.
it
Right?
like it like ooze it. I didn't have a problem. I cannot.
Well, I have. I can't borrow yours, so I'm gonna go buy one.
You can. I
I
mean,
could.
if you want to. I cleaned it.
Are you good?
I mean, you two shared them.
Excellent. All right.
I cleaned it.
I cleaned it.
You'll eat an ass, but you won't come in a pocket that I cleaned.
I will. I'll do that. I don't give a shit.
Well, apparently you do.
Apparently you do.
But no, it was fine. I really want to try it with somebody else. So this was a purely solo endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try it on somebody else, and I want them to try it on me.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my next thing. So when I try that, I'll give you all the scoop.
Scoop
I'll
loop.
give you all the egg salad.
Yeah. I absolutely I fully endorse the open-ended one, so I'm excited to try the egg one.
I was surprised by how affordable they were. And so the instructions do say that it's disposable. So I don't know how many uses, but it's washable at the same time. It's held up, so it's fine.
Is it silicone?
I don't know.
Did you read the instructions?
I did, but now I don't have them on me. I don't remember. I was getting right to the important part. I was like, here's the cylinder of lube. Put it in there. Listen, I'm a basic primitive man.
Here's egg. Fuck that noise. Here we go.
Egg.
Fucking bullshit words. We got some coming to do.
The point is, it was nice. It was fine. It's affordable. There's all kinds of different colors and patterns for you to collect.
Like Pokemon?
Yes.
You gonna display them on your wall?
Maybe. One thing that I do wish, so the bottom of the egg is rounded, so it doesn't stand nicely on a nightstand. It rolls around.
You have to wait for the equinox.
I don't know what that means.
The one time you can balance an egg on its end because the Earth is on its proper axis or whatever.
Is that bullshit?
No, that's real.
That's real?
People were doing it with brooms right before COVID, right?
Well, that was just
that was bullshit.
That's bullshit because you can just prop a broom up. Yeah. But that is what caused the fucking
That's what caused the
COVID,
apocalypse.
Yeah. Broom balancing.
I thought it was Harambe dying.
That's a little late, but yeah.
Yeah.
Also
that started it, and then it just snowballed into broom standing.
Yeah. It was a confluence of events that led to COVID.
Summon some broom demons. And now we're here.
I feel like I'm a broom demon.
So what else you got, Steven? Talk to me.
You're making me do all the work here.
I am absolutely. The only thing that's on my mind is I saw this fucking video on NPR of like a flock of birds fucking just falling from the sky and dying.
Yeah, that was in Mexico.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
I want to
Yeah,
talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that either. That's all I can fucking think about. Speaking of end times, that's that.
Do you know what happened?
Yes, apparently, like they're hypothesizing that there was toxic fumes in the air. That the birds caught and just like it's just like
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, check it out. Check it out.
That's actually so I heard a different hypothesis.
Okay.
So when birds fly together in a big thing, in a gaggle.
Flock.
Thank you. God damn it.
It's better that you're here. We did it together. That's really that's nice.
I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Fucking in a flock. So when birds flock together, they don't really see, like, not all birds can see and react. So their movements are based off of the movement of the birds around them. So the theory is that one of the birds in the front of the flock was like scared or was dodging something, and it caused them to like move pretty dramatically downward. And all of the other birds also moved downward, but because they were in this big amalgamation of birds, when they did that, many birds just slammed right into the ground. And so if you watch the video, like half of the birds fly away,
right,
and then the other half are just dead.
Right.
So it's like they just and then the other ones flew away.
I wish there was more video. You didn't just see the street view,
Yeah.
Because then you could see what was kind of like if it was like an intentional downward motion. Because I'm going to rewatch the video, but it looked like just like you can tell the difference between something falling and something falling. Like this was just thud. Yeah. So that's I think about that's lives rent free in my head, and I worry about our future because of the birds. So that's what I got. That's my contribution for today's episode.
For the episode for the show about love, sex, and relationships.
Birds
coming in here with dead birds.
Sorry, it's what it's on my fucking mind.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What else we got? What's on your mind?
You said you wanted to talk about some non-binaries.
Oh fuck yeah! All right.
Oh, all right.
So what's it like being non-binary?
Pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Tell me about it.
I don't know. What do you want to know?
Everything.
Well, I was born in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I'm here.
Dope.
Yeah.
When?
Quite the story.
Yeah.
Some shit happened. And
like that's why I absolutely love teaching our children about about having a vocabulary, because I mean the terminology for non-binary really came into the mainstream. I don't know, pretty recently, effectively. Before non-binary was really used, and before you understood what that meant, how did you feel about yourself? I guess would be.
I didn't meet my first non-binary person until what year is it?
It's 2022.
2018.
Okay.
Playing roller derby. We were in the middle of a drill and people kept misgendering them, and they were just like, "I'm not a girl," and I was just like, "That does not compute. Like, I don't understand." And since meeting them and expanding my friend circle and stuff like that, meeting more non-binary people, like things started to kind of click together. And what I always thought was, poor self-esteem being a teenager was just dysphoria. So like, I've always felt the best way I can describe it is having a dress on a gorilla. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, this is what you're supposed, not that only women wear dresses and stuff like that, but it just looks ridiculous. So I've always felt just kind of ridiculous. I'm the gorilla, and maybe the woman is the dress. So it never felt right. And then when I finally, learned about non-binary people and what it meant and stuff like that, it just kind of like, okay, is this me, or is this, me just wanting to be special? Am I just, mirroring what I see in other people? And here we are. And Chris and I had a conversation, and that was that.
Yeah.
The end.
All right. So I have a question.
I might have an answer.
So just for clarification purposes, how would you define non-binary?
So the way I describe it is non-binary is just kind of an umbrella term. So I'm still learning all the different, things under that umbrella term. But for me, it's not identifying as a man or a woman. It's just I'm a people. I'm a person. I just kind of do my own thing and don't worry about, gender norms or what I'm supposed to be doing.
So, is it okay if I ask more questions about this?
I'll allow it.
I will allow it. So, do you think that so identifying as non-binary, you mentioned throughout school you had like self-esteem issues, and that was actually would you say dysphoria? So do you think that was because of like an innate like this is who I am non-binary, you just didn't have like the vocabulary or the understanding to identify that? Or would you attribute that dysphoria more so with like the gender norms that society is pushing on you, and that just not really resonating with you?
A little bit of both. At the time, like it was a lot of gender norms and stuff like that because there weren't non-binary people that were out in the open and stuff like that. At least not where I lived. So like I've always been kind of a tomboy, and I've dressed in pretty baggy clothes, like pretty masculine clothes. I always hung out with. I was one of the guys. So I just lost my train of thought. It was a little bit of both. Like I never felt comfortable being feminine, but at the same time, it was kind of expected of me. So just kind of moving past that, I guess.
So
I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did. So you mentioned a lot about not really adhering to feminine stereotypes. Would you say that you adhere more to masculine stereotypes or masculine identities or identifiers?
As a teenager, yes. Like I kind of went out of my way to, not necessarily went out of my way, but I gravitated more towards like masculine things. Like I said, I wore much more baggy clothes than I should have, and stole my brother's clothes and stuff like that. Now I'm kind of like in the middle. Like there's masculine days where I dress like this and stuff like that,
and fix cars.
And I fix cars, and I fixed our dryer, and I've installed faucets and done lighting. And then we went on a date on Saturday night, and I wore makeup and like tight fitting clothes. I put effort.
Of course, the disclaimer is that these things are not, they're stereotypically thought of as masculine or feminine behavior examples, but by no means are they those things.
Yeah, this is just the words that I have, and
that's kind of what I was getting to as well, was where it sounded like you were adhering more to these like masculine stereotypes or masculine identifiers. So my question was going to be like, well, why not identify as a man? Like what is specifically calling to you in terms of non-binary? But then when you were explaining like having sort of more masculine days, or sometimes you have more feminine days, that kind of makes that make a little bit more sense.
I kind of had like the thought of, okay, am I a man? A little bit in my teenage years and during the whole non-binary journey, I guess. But calling myself a man didn't feel right either. Like neither of those things, being a man or a woman, felt like me. They kind of just felt like words, if that makes sense. And neither of them felt comfortable.
yeah, just like for me, calling myself straight doesn't fit, and calling myself gay isn't correct either. I'm bisexual. Like I just know that, it's just you feel a certain way, and that's just what sits right in your gut.
And
It's just who you are.
I'm not an expert on any of this at all. Like I'm still figuring my shit out. So this is just, my perspective, what I'm going through right now.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you are an expert in terms of how you feel.
Eh.
Well, at least like in the moment you can. I'm assuming, but in the moment, I'm sure you can kind of recognize whether something feels right. At least it sounds like that's been part of your journey to this point. It's just kind of like almost like trying on an outfit and then being like, "Oh, this doesn't feel like me." But doing that with sort of larger identifiers or ideas.
A little bit. Like, so the night that I kind of brought all of this up to Chris, I made a comment about my hair because I had really long hair. And like I kind of made the joke of, okay, well, I'm going to go cut it all off. And Chris said, well, I really like your long hair. And before I could even think or react, I said, but that doesn't feel like me. And that just kind of snowballed into me shaving my head.
It was that morning, and then that night we had the rest of the conversation, I think.
No, it was all
was
like
all at once?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the second that you said it, that didn't feel like you, that stopped everything, and that just was like, well, I mean,
you were like, let's go get the clippers.
Right? Yeah, let's immediately handle that. Yeah.
So how? And again, I hope it's okay that I'm asking these questions. Do you think that being non-binary has affected your relationship?
On my end, it hasn't. I don't think.
On my end, it has.
Oh.
It's gotten better.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Do you want to explain?
Surprise.
Yeah, you are. You're happy. Like, yes, you've always had moments of happiness and like you're not miserable. You weren't miserable for him, but like you're more of your genuine self, and it's just great to be around and watch and to just. I love you.
Gross.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
You're not gonna make me cry. You can't handle this.
I definitely feel more confident since coming out. So.
And yeah, that has greatly impacted your relationships and interactions with everybody here and probably your friends and family as well. Like like your family had said to me when we got married, like, oh, it's nice to see them finally happy. That's nice and everything. And, like I've always experienced that though. Like, it's just, we always have hit it off and been happy together and have had fun. But I've seen you grow and change and just, be more confident in who you are. And that's I think, strengthened our relationship a lot. So.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know you all that well, to be honest.
Yes. I don't know myself.
Well, other than like through Chris, I guess. But like even just since knowing you, like I've noticed you kind of come out of your shell a bit since coming out, and that's pretty cool. Like now you're literally sitting here on a podcast that's being streamed live, and I feel like that's something that old you like a year ago wouldn't have done. Like that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I hope that you know that that's a big deal, and that I think you do. But yeah, I think that this is something worth celebrating. It's worth celebrating you being more confident and being more okay with yourself and who you are. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think you've always been awesome. But I'm glad
You're on a limb here, making some risky proclamations.
You all know
Uh,
me well.
but I'm glad that you can kind of be the awesomeness that you want to be, if that makes sense.
It was definitely a huge weight off my shoulders once I realized it and like put all the pieces together. So I feel better.
I bet that was like a scary thing, you know?
Oh god, it was terrifying. Like I sobbed for hours. Just anytime Chris looked at me or I looked at myself in the mirror after shaving my head, it was just like tears and ugly
Oh.
crying and
When you made that comment about cutting your hair, and then you were like, but the long hair just doesn't seem like me.
Mhm.
Was that a moment where, like, when that just kind of like came out, did you like step back and you were like, oh, I let that slip?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I can see it on their
Yeah.
face.
I was like, oh shit.
That's why I like everything stopped in my world when they said that. Like they said, long hair. I don't feel like myself with long hair. Like it was just like the record stopped, and that was like, oh, okay, we need to have a much deeper conversation then, because you're walking around doing performative things you don't need to do. And I don't want you to wear a mask or be uncomfortable in your own house in your own life. So don't do some stupid shit for me. That's dumb.
That's been
take care of yourself first. Yeah.
actually, I really liked how you phrased that, Chris. Doing performative shit,
Mhm.
because, like, I feel like so much of what we think of as gender norms, or like just social norms in general, it's so performative and it gets exhausting.
Mhm.
Like something as stupid as like, don't put your elbow on the table while you eat. Like that's how gender feels. It's so dumb. Like to me, at least, I feel like this idea of oh well, you have a penis, so you can't use these words, and you can't do these things, you can't love these things, and you have a vagina, so you have to do the opposite. I remember a distinct moment when I was a kid. I saw there were these ducks. Um, not to bring it back to birds, but there was a gaggle of ducks. But no, there were these ducks that I saw outside, and I remember I referred to the ducks as being cute. And my dad like stopped everything, and he turned around. He was like, "Don't you use that word." And I didn't know how to respond, like, because I was young. This was like the first time that I was hearing something like this. And he was like, "You're a boy. You don't use the word cute. You can say the ducks are cool,
radical.
but you cannot say that the ducks are cute."
Totally tubular
And
or even bodacious.
but they are not cute.
But I will beat you unmerciful.
And I mean, I don't think my dad meant any harm by it. And I think he's just as much a product of these social norms as we all are. But and like I've tried to talk to him about this instance as well, and he doesn't even remember it. But it was not nearly as impactful to him as it was for me. But that's something that has stuck with me. And when it came to later in life, when I was starting to understand my own sexuality and trying to determine whether or not I wanted to come out and who I wanted to come out to, I kept thinking that in my head. It's such a stupid thing, but I was like, boys don't think ducks are cute. Like,
you're saying the only reason you're gay is so that you can use the word cute?
That's the only reason. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I'm reclaiming cute.
Cool.
But like,
Cute.
that was a moment where like I said something and I didn't even think anything of it, and somebody else like stopped the record, and like the whole world like stopped spinning for a moment, and it was like no. And then from that point on, any time in my life when I would say something that maybe came across as gay or maybe came across as something that wasn't normal for a boy, uh, like yeah, I would always like almost immediately it was like the words fell out of my mouth and I would like try to gulp it back down real fast. And the amount of like totally arbitrary anxiety that that gives someone is awful. And I don't wish that upon anybody, because in my opinion, and I know that some people feel differently about these kinds of things, but I think it's all stupid. Like, why do we have these arbitrary ideas of what these things mean, or like what
They're-
people?
They're being broken down.
Yeah.
Like it's slowly but surely happening. It's society is breaking. It's wonderful, and we'll rebuild it properly. But
We're very open about like gender in our house. Like
Mhm.
we have really good conversations with our kids. Like we talk about mental health and like I don't know, gender stuff. Like our son wears leggings to school because that's what's comfortable with for him. We just bought some panda and dinosaur leggings for him.
yeah,
Our youngest wears boxers. So like that's all she wants to wear is she's got Sonic boxers.
Damn, I want Sonic boxers.
they're pretty cool. Yeah, we have those conversations with them, and I think that a lot of younger people are more in tune with a lot of what's bullshit. What's make believe. Like you even said something earlier. You said, a rule as stupid as putting your elbows on the table. And like those societal rules are also stupid. Like there's certain things like I try to teach my kids manners, but it's hard to distinguish what's like. It's not hard to distinguish. It's hard to explain to them like this rule is it's arbitrary and silly. This rule is because your chewing sounds awful. Please,
A nail going through my head.
please, for the
I
love of
still
God.
need to work on that rule myself. I'm sorry.
But some things like keeping your elbows on the table or your head up at the table, like those are things. It's like you have to be polite, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Like just do what you want to do, be comfortable, live your life. No matter what, whether it's a gender norm or whether it's a societal expectation, as long as you're not hurting anybody, fuck it. But
So now I don't necessarily agree with this, but there are some criticisms to the idea of specifically like raising children with this kind of idea of kind of chipping away at these ideas of gender norms and social norms and things like that. One criticism that I've heard from a lot of people who don't particularly like this idea is that by having these kinds of conversations with kids, we are influencing them to be more more likely to be either gay or non-binary, more likely to identify as these things.
Because they
And
get the vocabulary now.
yeah, they have the information. They have all the facts. Yeah, so they have easier access to the vocabulary and the mental health and the ability to feel and think about it.
Mhm.
Like you can show me gay porn all day, and I'll tell you if I like it or not. It's not going to be like, oh, you got me. I'm gay now. We were talking about gay stuff. You made me gay. You can't make somebody something or something else. You just can't. Like they are what they are, and you gotta let them know they're loved no matter what.
It's hard. So I went to high school in essentially a cornfield. Like it was white people central. We had a gay straight alliance, but it only had, a handful of people in it. I remember I kissed my girlfriend and going to the bus stop, and the principal came over and was like, "You need to knock that off. Don't ever do that again." So coming from that and, being a parent now and teaching our children, that is just like, that's the best for me. Like, they don't have to feel stuck in the closet. Like, if they're gay, if they're bi, if they're whatever, it's not a big deal. It's not a conversation we have to sit down and, okay, I'm coming out to you. Like, okay, what do you want for dinner? So I feel really good about where our kids are. Like, the society gender norm stuff still comes up. My son gets made fun of at school for wearing the leggings, but at the same time, he's like, they're just comfortable. Pants are pants. So it's both sides, I guess.
It's like when you're training somebody at work. It's like, here's what the company expects for you, but here's how you really do it. Like, you have to kind of give them a heads up that while this is what we believe, and this is what we feel is ethically right and just natural. Some people in society still believe like this is not necessarily a prevailing belief, but there are people out there who think the opposite of this, or this is the current popular theory or whatever, so that they can be ready, so they're not like, you can't just go saying Santa Claus isn't real to a group of kids. You have to say, hey, we don't believe in Santa Claus, but a lot of people do. So you can't just fucking break that necessarily. You can go preach that all you want, but it is what it is. You have to, and that's a bad example.
But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how do you have that conversation as parents, but also as parents who don't identify strictly as straight or heteronormative, I guess. Like, how do you prepare your kids for like the possible ridicule or the people who believe the opposite?
So kids are mean in general, because they're just like, that's what they're taught, and some just on accident. And so they have these discrepancies and issues about other trivial bullshit well before it's about that. Well before it's about the more serious stuff or what's currently serious. Like, it's like, Billy said that Dr. Doom is the best villain, but I think that it's Thanos, and they called me dumb for it. Like, that's kind of at a base level. Like I got made fun of for, I believe in My Little Pony over She-Ra. Well, they're both good things. Like, it's okay.
I do love those things.
Right. Like, so it's about little kid shit. Like, just like the drama you experienced as a teenager is stupid shit now. It's like, I have a mortgage. Fuck you. I don't care who broke your heart today. So at every age level, there is some level of that bullshit and drama. And so it's easily translatable, if that makes sense. Like, if that helps. Like, you can prepare them for that injustice and the general, like, us versus, like, me versus the world kind of thing at an early age with whatever they care about. Like, it's fine that you like Captain America over Deadpool or whatever. Like, it's fine. We have a lot of superhero talk. Yeah. We're nerds also.
Just random at 6 a.m. Who would win in a fight?
Yeah. Like,
Thanos or the Silver Surfer?
It's okay if you have an unpopular opinion on something, just on that's fine. Like, it's okay to have that. Like, you shouldn't feel bad about that, and you should celebrate your differences. And as long as whatever they like isn't hurting anybody else, that's fine too. Now, if what they like is hurting somebody else, then you got to stay in your own lane for now. Like, you're a child. You're not an activist. I'm not arming you to fight the fucking patriarchy just yet.
Oh, I have been.
That's great. It's great, and you should. But not like
Whoops.
it's fine. It's fine. Also, yes, but they have to kind of say, all right, well, go tell an adult, tell me, and then I'll go beat up that kid.
I will. So the best example of that I can come up with is our son was in first grade, and I was on a field trip with him, and we were coming back to the school. I had to drive separately, so I was coming, and he was getting off the bus, and this little kid was crying, and Dylan was right behind him. Oops, I shouldn't have said his name. Anyway, so I was like, what happened? Why is that kid crying? He's like, oh, I told him God's not real. I'm like, buddy. Like,
oh no.
well, we don't believe in him, so God's not real. I'm like, okay, well, other people believe that. So you can't just say stuff like that. Like, whether or not you think he's real or not is different than this kid. Like, he's being raised to think God's real. So chill out with that.
Just
Right.
gave that child an existential crisis. Just like, oh no.
Grandma's not in heaven. I'm not going to heaven. I mean, I just have to be a good person to be a good person? Fuck!
So we've talked to them about not everybody's going to agree with you, and the difference between, okay, them not agreeing with me is danger to me or somebody else versus a difference of opinion. So that's what we try to ingrain.
Yeah. Is it hurting you or somebody else? No? Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Well, that's good. I think that it's nice to hear that that you've gone through the challenges of coming to these understandings on your own, so that now you can instill that understanding on your children to hopefully make their lives a little bit easier. Because that's
Try.
ultimately, I guess that's what parenting's all about,
Surviving. Also that.
Oh yeah. Surviving first, I guess, and then
Having a cry in the shower every morning.
well, I'm not a parent and I do that. Oh.
I often have a drink in the bathtub nights, so it's all right.
That actually sounds really nice.
It is fantastic. Have a little cry, have a little drink, sit in a bubble bath. It's great.
Well, I think that your children have some pretty awesome role models, and it makes me happy to hear that you guys are making the choices that you're making. So,
Thanks.
Thumbs up.
real fast before we close out, I wanted to share some things from the chat. So Imagine McNamee said, being able to raise my kid to know that he is valued and his opinions matter is the greatest joy in life. Nothing tops it.
Absolutely.
And then I wanted to go back just a little bit just to spread some love. Callie Wright wrote in and said, watching them come into their own the last while has been honestly one of the great joys of my life.
Referring to.
That's my Derby wife.
Oh, wait. So I don't know if this is fine to ask, but is this the person that kind of like sparked this in you?
No, it's one of our mutual friends because I hope this is okay. Callie actually realized they were non-binary like a little bit before I did. And
Oh, okay.
their thought process of it kind of triggered mine. So that's kind of where okay, am I thinking this because I want to feel special and fit in versus having the vocabulary to actually, describe who I am.
That's actually kind of cool that you were able to go through that journey with somebody in a way.
Yeah. were the first person. Once I started like putting things together, I went to them first just to like kind of confirm that these were real feelings before presenting them to Chris, because like that's a lot to say to somebody just to be like, haha, JK. I was just kidding. I'm not really non-binary.
Just kidding. Give me my hair back.
No,
I had little braids.
that's mine now.
Oh, okay.
I took it off. I donated it. I had like 5 little braids. It was great.
Oh,
I made a little doll.
Ooh. Okay.
the way that you're looking into the camera, I made a doll. Your eyes got all wide.
This is what I live with.
Love you.
Love you.
Well, thank you, Stephen.
No problem. Thank you. Sorry, I was asking all kinds of questions. I hope it was all okay.
I don't care. I'm gonna go have a cry in the bathtub now because you asked me so many questions.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
Or are they?
We'll find out in about 5 minutes.
Jesus. Well, I'm sorry. If you have to cry, then you can cry. Like that's fine. But like I don't want you to.
If you have, I get this. Well, Stephen's giving you permission, so you're fine.
Oh, okay. Let's
Yeah, I will allow it.
That's exactly what I was waiting for.
Immediately just start sobbing.
Go over here and ugly cry off camera real quick.
Well, thank you to all of our audience members for chiming in. Thank you to all of our listeners on the podcast.
God, we went some places tonight.
We did. We had a journey. I loved it.
Oh,
I was along for the ride.
Imagine McNamee said, "Thank you all. This was legit the best one yet for me, anyway."
There you go. Look at that.
Thanks. It was all me.
That's absolutely 100%. Yeah.
Fuck you,
Honestly, we couldn't have done it without you.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want to tell them where they can donate there, Stephen?
Oh, yeah. That's a thing. So thank you everyone for watching, listening, all the things. If you like the show and want to support us, you can go to mtfproductions.com/donate. You can donate as little as $1 or up to $1 million.
Wait,
Bro,
there's a cap?
if you have $1 million, let's be friends. Let's
be more than friends.
Let's have a chat.
But yeah, so if you decide to donate to the show, it not only supports myself and Chris, but we are in the process of building a studio. And yeah, actually, it supports all of us. But it helps us. We're in the process of building a studio, so it'll help us fill that studio with fancy equipment that'll make our podcast sound and look better than ever. So any support is appreciated. If you can't donate, just listening to the show, sharing the show, rating and reviewing the show. It all helps. So thank you so much, everyone.
Yay! Okay. Thank you all. Good night. Love you.
Are we doing a post show?
And this is a quick little wrap up, I think.
Okay. So we'll do a quick post show. So everyone in the chat, everyone in the live broadcast, just stay put. We're going to hang out for a little bit afterwards. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Love, love, love.
Love you, Moore's hands.
Oh no, where's the button? God damn it. I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay.